It took me a long time to figure out how to actually be comfortable with outgrowing your friends. And when I say that, I don't mean like you have to be better than them or they are not on your level anymore. I mean that you just become, different people completely from who you used to be. Like taking me from year 10 to year 12, with my friends from then. Some of them I've lost connection with. And I chose that in the sense that because we grew and changed and we don't try to force it back together, as it just doesn't work well when you try to do those kind of things because we're not the people we used to be. And that's fine because everyone you meet within life is going to be different from those people you already met. Some come, some go, and that's fine. And that's just the common thing that's going to happen in this life. And I didn't realize that until I was 19. I'll give you an example of this where it happened to me, where this guy I met in year 10, where we were mutual friends on the game called Fortnite, which you should know. And the other guy left, where me and the other guy that he invited to join just started, playing and enjoying each other's company more. We played a lot of games at night, and then we played more and more throughout the days and weeks coming past, and actually decided to do, self improvement together and work together with it. Year 11, fine. Year 12 was fine, and year 13 was fine. But the second we left school, it started to feel distant as the contacts started to get harder because we don't see each other every day. We had a busy lives now, new degrees for him to go to, and me being my gap year, we've just been genuinely busy and found it hard to spend time with each other. And when I was on my gap year, whenever I tried to reach out to him, we never really was in sync, just like, spaced out because it was like a lot of time between texts. Because I thought all these friendships that I was gaining when I was young were going to stay around for me for a lifetime. And this was the first time it just didn't work in my favor. And I knew it from the moment we started texting each other how it was that because the gaps between the replies just kept on getting longer and longer, and it stopped feeling that that charged, like happy, like excited emotion to meet each other. We just stopped feeling cared for in that sense. Not in a bad way or anything, just neither of us were just putting in that effort like we used to anymore, so it didn't feel the same, so I let it be. And I don't know why. I mean, as kids, we feel like all these friendships are gonna last forever because you spend so much time together. Like you play games together, school, laughing, playing sports outside, whatever it may be. When you do so much together, you think this surely continues into the future because we both like this feeling, right? But now looking back at it, it didn't cost me as bad as you think. It just made me feel more realistic about these situations that not everything is gonna last forever and appreciate why you still have it. You can't force someone to stay in your life. You can't force someone to leave either. They come and go when the time goes. Now, here's one I don't usually talk about is where I had this situationship with a girl. We liked each other, but neither of us knew how to really move it forward. She was kind of worried about her parents finding out, and you know how it is with Asian parents, they want you to focus on school, not dating aspect. And on my end, I gave less effort because I was shy and never really knew how to approach her properly because I was dismantling this kind of alter ego myself, me, where I was trying to pretend like, this top alpha male guys, where like, oh, I'm so confident I could pull out 100 women and, shag them all in that sense. And I just didn't handle it right because I didn't like that version of myself and I wanted to change. But it made me feel like I don't know how to approach her anymore because that bravado was, whenever I talked to her, was always in that alter ego format, not real me format. And I feel bad for that one, where because I didn't end it properly, I ended it with a text. I was horrible there. So recently, or earlier on this year, I wrote a long, like, honest message to her, just being apologetic and apologizing for to her properly, where I told her that I was sorry that I changed upon her so much during school, and thankfully she forgave me about it and understood my view. That means a lot, to be honest, because it lifted this weight off knowing that I haven't wasted her time or her worse than I perceived in my mind. So that was nice. And comparing that to where I sat next to a guy for every morning in form time during my whole of like year 13, basically, about 20 minutes a day, just talking about random stuff, just probably actually getting along with each other. Yeah, we actually got to the point where we hanged outside of school times as well. And then when I went to university, he tried messaging me, trying to link back up. And honestly, it didn't feel like a match anymore. But instead of ghosting him like my past self would have, I learned that could be quite disrespectful. So I texted him straight, told him that I appreciate him, he's a good person and all that, and nothing wrong with him there. I just didn't feel that same connection that we had back in school, and said that I don't really want to continue that part instead. And he said fair enough. He felt the same in that way, and we left it in neutral. And if I saw him in person, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, we're not going to speak to each other ever again. If I saw him in person, I'll say hi and talk to him. I'm happy to talk to him because we're on neutral terms. I just don't count him as a friend in that sense anymore. It's not in a bad way. I just have a different definition now, and that's the real shift on my experience here. Is because my different definition of a friend has changed. Because before in school, when you're growing up, if anyone had a good conversation with me or be nice to me, I would call them a friend. But I realized with people like that, I kind of just get an awkward one-on-one, and I can only really be comfortable with them if they're in like large groups. If it was a one-on-one situation, I would not. I would just be just very long stretches of silence in that conversation we're gonna have. And once I noticed that, I knew I just can't call that kind of vibe or relationship as a friend. Now, a friend to me is someone who I don't have to perform for. Sometimes, like, someone who I can be in any situation with, like chilling in a group or like just one on ones in any situation, any activities, and just be fine with them. Someone I can be vulnerable with without them judging me or criticizing me for it, and just be understanding of each other and laugh, and they include me into situations and I include them back. We give that kind of two-way street energy with each other. Like he gives me some, I give him the energy back. But it's not just about people leaving. As in year nine, there was a guy I never expected to stay close to me because I thought we were so different in that sense. He was that kind of boisterous, kind of loud, and I was more that emotional, quietest type of guy. And I can say he's one of my closest friends today because he puts the effort back in as well. Because whenever he's going out, he'll ask around if anyone's free, coming along, and he thinks of me when that situation is as well. And he wants, it's nice to him to want to reconnect with me and talk to me, like catch up with me again. And that means something when someone actually wants you to be around instead of being like the last option. And I still remember lockdown times where we were playing Minecraft together in like a small group, friend group, and he said something that was still stuck with me today. That he liked playing with me more because I don't take it too seriously with games. I can, mess about and have fun with, and like other people who are in my friend group who had to always win or like, take it seriously just to be optimal, had to be optimal in every game just to win, yada, yada, yada. And that stuck with me because it was someone who was actually choosing me for being different, not despiting it. So yeah, that's it to be honest. You don't have to treat everyone like they're gonna be your best friend for life. You're not bound to the people you met in school. You're not screwed if you don't keep them or if you haven't met anyone in school like that. Just be good to people. Be respectful. Put in the effort where it feels real. And if it's not coming back, let it go. No resentment. No ghosting. Just be honest and leave it on good terms if you can. Because you never know who's going to stick around. So just appreciate the people who are in your life and while you have them still.